Have you ever thought about growing your own fruits at home? It's not as daunting as it might seem. In fact, it's a simple, rewarding, and delicious endeavor. Today we're going to explore the wonderful world of homegrown fruits. Imagine biting into a fresh apple, crisp and sweet, plucked straight from a tree in your backyard, or savoring the tangy burst of homegrown berries ripened to perfection under the summer sun. This isn't just about the taste, though. Growing your own fruit is a step towards self-sustainability, a way to know exactly what you're feeding your body, and a method to cut grocery costs. Besides the health and financial benefits, there's something incredibly satisfying about cultivating your own food. It's a process that connects you with nature, a journey that starts with a tiny seed and ends with a bountiful harvest. So, if you're ready to embark on this fruitful journey, stay tuned. First things first, choosing the right fruit trees for your climate and soil is essential. Like any living being, each type of fruit tree has its specific needs and preferences. Understanding these will help you create a fruitful and thriving home orchard. Let's start with climate. Some fruit trees, like citrus and avocados, love the warmth of tropical and subtropical climates. Others, like apples and pears, need a good dose of winter chill to produce a bountiful harvest. So, your local climate plays a huge role in determining which types of fruit trees will thrive in your backyard. Next, consider your soil type. Is it sandy, clay, or loamy? Fruit trees are not overly fussy, but they do appreciate well-draining soil. If your soil is heavy clay, you may need to improve its structure or consider planting dwarf varieties in raised beds or containers. On the other hand, sandy soils may require the addition of organic matter to improve water-holding capacity. Size matters too. Some fruit trees, like apple and pear, can grow quite large, while others, like fig and citrus, are more compact. Consider the space you have available. If you're short on space, look for dwarf or semi-dwarf varieties that can be easily managed in smaller areas. And let's not forget about pollination requirements. Some fruit trees are self-pollinating, meaning they can bear fruit on their own. Others require cross-pollination, needing another variety to bear fruit. Knowing your fruit tree's pollination requirements is vital to ensure a successful harvest. Finally, think about when you want to enjoy your fruit. Different trees bear fruit at different times of the year. By choosing a mix of early, mid, and late season varieties, you can enjoy fresh fruit from your backyard almost year-round. Remember, the right tree in the right place makes all the difference, so take your time to choose wisely. Your reward will be a beautiful, productive fruit tree that provides you with fresh, delicious fruit for many years to come. Now that you've chosen your trees, it's time to get your hands dirty. Our first step is to determine the best time to plant. While this can vary depending on your climate and the type of fruit tree, generally the late winter or early spring is the ideal time. This allows the tree to establish roots in the cool, moist soil before the heat of summer arrives. Next, we prepare the planting hole. This is crucial, as it's the tree's first home. You'll want to dig a hole that is twice as wide as the root ball, but no deeper. The goal is to encourage the roots to spread outwards, not down. The top of the root ball, where the tree trunk starts to flare out, should be level with or slightly above the surface of the ground. Now it's time to plant the tree. Gently place the tree in the hole, making sure it's straight. Fill the hole halfway with soil, then water thoroughly to settle the soil around the roots. Once the water has drained, fill the rest of the hole with soil. For the initial watering, it's important to give the tree a good soak. This helps the roots establish contact with the soil and begin their spread. After this, you'll want to water regularly, but be careful not to overwater. Too much water can cause the roots to rot. And there you have it, your tree is in the ground and ready to grow. Remember, patience is key. It can take a few years for a fruit tree to start producing, but once it does, you'll have a bounty of homegrown fruits to enjoy. Remember, the joy of planting fruit trees goes beyond the delicious fruits they bear. It's also about the process, the learning, and the connection with nature. So take your time, enjoy each step, and before you know it, you'll be reaping the fruits of your labor. With your trees in the ground, you're one step closer to your homegrown fruits. Planting the tree is just the beginning. Now comes the nurturing part. Taking care of your fruit trees is a labor of love, but it's also a science. The first area of focus is watering. Watering is not as simple as turning on the hose. Young trees need a deep watering about once a week, while mature trees can go 2 to 3 weeks between waterings. Remember, it's not about frequency, but the amount of water. Deep watering encourages roots to grow deeper, creating a stronger, more drought-resistant tree. Next, let's talk about fertilizing. Fertilizing isn't always necessary, but it can give your tree a nutrient boost. A balanced fertilizer, usually marked with equal numbers like 10, 10, 10, can be applied in early spring before new growth begins. Be careful not to over-fertilize, as it can lead to excessive, weak growth and reduced fruiting. Pruning is another important aspect of tree care. Pruning helps to control the size of the tree, remove dead or diseased wood, and encourage better fruit production. The best time to prune is late winter or early spring, just before the new growth starts. Always make clean cuts and avoid tearing the bark. Lastly, we have pest control. Pests can wreak havoc on your fruit trees, so it's crucial to keep an eye out for any signs of infestation. Natural methods, such as introducing beneficial insects or using homemade sprays, can often keep pests at bay. For more serious infestations, you might need to resort to commercial pesticides. Always read and follow the label instructions to ensure you're using the product safely and effectively. Caring for your fruit trees requires regular attention and a bit of elbow grease, but the rewards are well worth it. A healthy, well-cared-for tree will produce abundant, delicious fruit for many years to come. Proper care not only ensures a healthy tree but also a bountiful harvest. The moment you've been waiting for, the harvest. Knowing when your fruits are ripe for picking is a skill that comes with time and experience. Each type of fruit has its own telltale signs of ripeness. Apples, for instance, are ready when they've reached their full color, whether that's a vibrant red, a sunny yellow, or a rich green. You can give them a gentle twist. If they come off the branch easily, they're ready. Peaches, on the other hand, are a bit more subtle. They tend to soften when they are ripe and emit a sweet, mouth-watering aroma. And let's not forget about berries. Ripe berries will be plump and fully colored, and they should come off the vine with little resistance. Now let's talk about proper harvesting techniques. It's best to use your hands or a pair of sharp, clean pruning shears to avoid damaging the fruit or the tree. Always handle your fruits gently to prevent bruising them. Remember, the goal is to enjoy these fruits at their peak, not to win a game of fruit football. Once you've harvested your fruits, it's time to think about storage. Different fruits have different storage needs, but generally, cool and dark places are your best bet. Apples, for example, like the coolness of a basement or garage, but they also need humidity to stay crisp. A damp cloth in a box or bag can help maintain the right environment. Berries, conversely, prefer the refrigerator, ideally in a single layer on a paper towel to absorb any extra moisture. And peaches? They're a bit finicky. They like room temperature until they're perfectly ripe, and then they prefer the chill of the fridge. Remember, proper storage is all about prolonging the life of your fruits so you can enjoy them for as long as possible. And isn't that the beauty of growing your own fruit? You get to savor the fruits of your labor, quite literally in the most delicious way possible. And there you have it, ripe, delicious fruits right from your backyard. So let's recap the fruitful journey we've been on today. We started by understanding how to choose the right fruit trees for your home. Remember, it's all about picking species that are suitable for your climate and soil type. Next, we delved into the art of planting your fruit trees. We talked about the importance of proper spacing, depth, and orientation to ensure your trees thrive. Then we discussed caring for your fruit trees, emphasizing the need for regular watering, pruning, and pest management. We also touched on the significance of nutrient balance for a healthy and productive fruit tree. Lastly, we covered harvesting and storing fruits. We learned that timing is crucial when it comes to harvesting, and proper storage can extend the life of your fruits and maintain their quality. With a little effort and patience, you too can enjoy the fruits of your labor. Happy gardening!